Guess what, everybody? It's time to work on some bass now. And unfortunately, I don't have any bass parts for this thing written yet. So I guess that's what this is going to be about, is writing the bass parts. Normally I would have done this already, but I just never got around to it. Oops. Procrastinating, I guess. But yeah, we're going to get to it now. Hopefully I can get most of this written right now. Probably don't. I don't have enough time probably today. I've already done some today though, but let's see what we're working on right now. Okay, here's some stuff here we're writing. I'm gonna block the title once again because we don't want to give it away too soon. All right, so like we've seen before, guitar part, etc., etc. I have gotten down to here. So let me put where my bass is, right here. So where am I? Let me double check this here. Now, how do I channel what I'm trying to channel here? I'm not sure. No one's gonna actually figure out what this really is supposed to be, I don't think, because it looks kind of like a mess. Okay, so we're in the chorus part, blah, blah, blah. This is happening. So it starts here. So we got two passes. Now the thing is, it ends differently, and I'm trying to figure out ways to trick it up a little bit so it's not quite the same every time. But yeah, I don't really know. Let me go ahead and just copy this part here, since that's the end right there. So I don't know where we're gonna exactly do that. I've had a couple times where I've done like a flat 5 note just for fun in places, or had an extra thing, or have an extra slide somewhere. So we're just gonna, it's mostly just a follow along here. There's not really a specific bass part happening. Is there really a way we can do that here? I'm not certain of that. I know what we can do here for fun. We can do it open, and we make it that, and then another 2. A fun little thing here. I have a fun slidey idea here, potentially. We could do this. It's a dotted, so I could do this. Stick with me here. Stick with me. Just a second. This is another dotted. So we can do this. Very slow slide out. Now, how do I get this ending here? Because it's just a slide out. It's a slide up and then down. Maybe I'll just do the same thing. What's my division there, huh? Ooh. So usually what I do in this situation, so the way that Guitar Pro does the notations on slides is really weird. It doesn't make sense a lot of the time. Obviously you're not going to do it like this. That's not how this would sound when you would actually play it. And of course I can program that difference anyway, because if you're, programming a bass in MIDI, I get a lot more choice with when I want slides to start and stop, so that'll get fixed in there. I know I don't want to bore you guys with too much of this. That's just a little bit of what we got going on now. And if you guys know your bass players and know what kind of bass players like slides, maybe you can figure out what this song is gonna be. But again, good luck, because this isn't gonna be super obvious. All right, so there's bass day 1. That's what we're working on today so far. Hopefully tomorrow I can get to some real programming. That would be nice, so I can show you guys what I'm using actually for the bass sound. So hopefully tomorrow will be a fun day. Friday will definitely be a fun day, because then I'm certain we will be into that stuff by then. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow on this. All right, everybody, it's day 2 of bass today, although for me it's more like day 5 because of all the time I've spent writing the bass so far this week. But you guys don't have to see all that. Showed you guys that on the last day. Today we're actually gonna be programming some bass finally, so we're into the real stuff now. So before we get into all that, let me show you guys what we're working with in terms of virtual instrument here. So let's get over to the computer real quick. All right, so here is the computer, guys. We got Kontakt here, and we've got the Omni Bass, which is from Submission Audio, I believe, is who makes this guy. They make several bass plugins, so it's pretty normal stuff here. So Omni Bass is based on what is this? It's a type of Ernie Ball bass, but that doesn't really matter. We've got the DI setting here because I'm going to do something else for bass sounds. And so we've got a bass tuned DG DG. There's a reason for that. That is there because of the tuning of the song. Two lowest strings are a whole step lower than they normally would be in standard. So we've got that. And then for what we will be doing for tones later is, since we have this in DI mode, we can go to the Spectre Digital Element Bass. Nothing going on because this is the default setting. We do that, and then we've got bass amp sounds. We can do this. We can apply them to a DI sound, which is essentially what this is. And then you get 3 amps here, so you can do multiple at once to really build a cool bass sound with it. Anyway, take that off for now because we're not using that yet. And we've got that there. So we've got the intro done so far. So this is the first 4 bars of the song done. You guys probably will not be able to hear this on the mic because it's just a DI sound, so it's not that loud. Maybe if I muted the drums. So yeah, there's that so far. So that's all you guys need to know about what we're doing with programming the bass here. We're going to do the rest. We've got it written down in Guitar Pro. So we might do a fun little time lapse here just to put that in. Okay, so we got the first verse programmed here. Well, okay, we got part of it done. Now there are some things that are a little different, so I've still got more to do. Anyway, that's probably the programming that we're going to be doing today. Now it's just a matter of copying and pasting and then changing the bars that need to change from whatever is copied. And then, yeah, after that, we'll be done with the first verse, and then for all the other sections, it's basically the same process. We program one section of it that repeats, and then we just start copying and pasting that across as we need it. So yeah, that's most of the bass stuff, and that's all we're going to talk about on this second day. Hopefully soon I'll be able to show you guys the part of creating the tone, but that might come later when we've got more of the song actually recorded and we're getting down into mixing. So we'll see what happens. Maybe there'll be another bass video about getting the tone set up in some way. So yep, see you guys another day. Okay, everybody, it's the third day for this bass vlog on here, showing you guys how I'm making the bass sounds for this song and things like that. Today we are going to actually look at the sound and stuff because I think it makes more sense to do this now than to do this in mixing later. So it at least gives me something else to talk about because there's not a whole lot else interesting to talk about with the bass at this point except how we're going to make it sound good. So let's go on to the computer and we'll look at that. Okay, here we go with the computer stuff. Let me turn this up a little so you guys can hear it. Okay, let's open it up here. So, like I said before with Kontakt, we've got a DI sound here on the Omni Bass. So now that we've got that, we're going to pull up Element here and look at this. We've got 2 amps to start with. Let's go to the vintage setting here. Now the first one, I usually like to do a little bit of this guy. We pull the treble out because I don't like brightness a whole lot in bass at all. Give just a little bit of a high mid thump. In the bass we go just a little nominally, anything too crazy, a little bit of comp, just so we have it. And go to the cone on the U87 there. So first of all, what we're going to do on the frequency map, if it'll let me do this, I can do a limit or two. I did not see that before. We'll worry about that later, I think. Actually do mixing, so we'll do a very aggressive slope to cut off the high end. So we take off everything like right here. It doesn't matter. So we roll that off there. Now some of the super low end on this first amp I don't really like to have, so we'll get rid of that. And then this we might bring it down just a little. Because that's going to get a little mud there if we do that. So that's pretty good to start there. And then the second guy here, we're going to go with another vintage, and this is going to be low frequency cab, and we are going to some low end. All of this go away. We don't care about any of that. Give it a little comp. I realize you guys cannot see this part down here. Oops, can't see the knobs. Okay, let me go back and show that though. So yeah, this is what we've got set for the first guy here. This just gives us a little bit of a bass to start with. And then this guy is going to be our main bass driver. Low mid will just leave where it is. So I just want this thing to go nuts. I'll take back, we'll give some of the high mids back. And this is going to have crazy low end. We're going to do one of these guys. So we got both of those going. We're going to pull a lot of the high end off of this one. Again, get some of the mud out here, just because that's a little nasty. We're going to let that low end just go crazy over there. Okay, that's kind of roughly it there for the bass sound. I might do some more tweaking later once I get to mix down and all that, so we can get more specific with this stuff. But yeah, that's basically what we got right now. I should do a little bit of this part because there's a lot of low notes here. Yeah, that's all of that section that's been done. So That's not a whole lot, but that's some low notes there. So yeah, I think that's probably it for the bass sound stuff here. Okay, so there's a look at the bass process. Probably going to be it for this vlog. So hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one, and hopefully I can figure out how to properly vlog the guitar tracking process. That might be a little tricky, but I'll see you guys for that one when we get to it. Bye.